Fab reports a 50% rise in first-half net profit to $2.18 billion. And Borouge posts its first earnings report as a listed company. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. First, Abu Dhabi Bank's first-half net profit rose 50% year-on-year to $2.1 billion. Fab saw total income of $3.4 billion, up 31% year-on-year. Revenue got a boost from its majority stake sale of payments processing firm Magnati for $840 million. Fab also enjoyed 9% lower impairment charges, which came in at $270 million. Fab extended $13.61 billion in net incremental lending in H1, which is a record for any half-year period. On lending, Fab's exposure is at $124.94 billion, up 12% year-to-date. Borouge saw Q2 net profit of $490 million, up by 35% compared to its Q1 pro forma income and supported by higher sales volumes and revenue. The Abu Dhabi-based petrochemicals company saw revenue in the period grow 18% to $1.87 billion. It's its first earnings report as a listed company. The polymer maker says this was achieved despite higher underlying feedstock prices. It says it was able to optimize feedstock arrangements to lower overall production costs per ton compared with the previous quarter. Aldar has inked an MOU with Mubadala Investment Company to acquire 4 commercial towers in Abu Dhabi Global Market. The assets are valued at $1.17 billion. The transaction includes the 4 main office towers in ADGM located on Al Marja Island, Al Sila, Al Sarab, Al Makam, and Al Khatam, with a total net leasable area of 180,000 square meters. GCC central banks raised interest rates overnight after the U.S. Federal Reserve authorized its second consecutive rate increase of 0.75%. The UAE, Saudi, Oman, and Bahrain matched 75 basis points. In the U.S., it's a move to curb inflation while simultaneously trying to avoid a recession. But in the GCC, economies are expected to grow by 5.9% this year. That's according to the World Bank's Gulf Economic Update released in May. U.S. stocks rallied on the news, and the Nasdaq posted its biggest daily percentage gain since April 2020. In addition, upbeat quarterly reports from Microsoft and Alphabet provided further encouragement about the earnings season. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell reassured investors following the rate announcement that he did not believe the U.S. economy is currently in a recession, but that it is softening. Analysts say it was a calming statement coming on the heels of a day where earnings and revenues were better than expected. And that surge is reflected in today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking, which tracks the daily ups and downs of the world's richest people. Our biggest winner today is Elon Musk, up $11.4 billion overnight, and now with net wealth of $255.2 billion. Our second biggest winner today is Alphabet's Larry Page, up $6.3 billion overnight, with net wealth of $97.5 billion. And our third place winner is Jeff Bezos, up $6.1 billion, with net wealth of $146.6 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest billionaires news. Meta posted its first decline in revenue and issued a muted outlook on digital advertising as it competes with TikTok. Meta reported quarterly revenue of $28.8 billion, down almost 1% year-on-year and slightly below expectations. It's the first time Meta has posted a quarterly drop in revenue from the year earlier. Samsung Electronics reported a 12% rise in Q2 profit as robust data center demand for high-margin memory chips underpinned prices. Operating profit rose to $10.8 billion for the quarter, up from $9.6 billion a year earlier and slightly higher than its own estimate. Samsung is the world's top maker of memory chips and smartphones. Toyota produced just over 793,000 vehicles globally in June, slightly above a target it had cut twice. It caps a quarter that saw the Japanese automaker slip 9.8% behind its production plan. The world's largest car maker by sales has seen its output hit in recent months by the impact of the global chip shortage and supply constraints from COVID lockdowns in China. The June numbers represent a 4.6% decline from the same month last year. The space industry grew at its fastest pace in years to reach a record $469 billion in annual global spending last year, as government and commercial space ventures continue to soar. A report from the Space Foundation reveals the global space economy grew 9% year-on-year in 2021, marking the fastest rate of growth since 2014. Commercial space ventures accounted for a whopping 77% of spending, as a record number of civilians launched into space last year. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.